Hey guys, it is now officially 1 week away from the Olympia weekend. You guys probably don't know this about me, but I love bodybuilding. I love staying tuned on what's going on and whatnot. And I thought this year I'd give out my own predictions video, just throw it out there. Before I continue any further, my opinions are not in any way like completely right, obviously. They're just my opinions. Everyone's free to have their own. If you disagree, let me know. Maybe my mind will be changed. But I'm only going to do the top 10 for two reasons. Number one, I'm not too familiar with people outside of the top 10 this year, or at least who I deem not being in the top 10. Also, I don't think a lot of people necessarily care too much about anyone outside the top 10. So yeah, we're just going to do the top 10 today. So, starting off at number 10, Urs Kalazinski. Now, I feel like a lot of people will probably put Urs a bit higher, but I think the people that would like to put Urs higher do not understand how deep of a lineup this is this year. We have the return of Nick Walker, we have Good Vito, Beirut Stabani, making his Olympia debut. We have a lot of like super high tier athletes competing this year that I feel like Urs is just going to get pushed all the way back to 10th, although he is great. I think that's one of the best abs and thighs in the world right now. I think the only person I could really see beating him on there are Andrew Jack and Hottie, but Urs definitely up there in that shot. For Urs, his main issue is the back. A lot of people like to, talk about his size. I think his size would be better if his actual width of his back was on par, but he's gonna have to put on a lot of size to make up that difference in actual like clavicle width. So I just don't think he's like there yet to where he's like a top contender. Do I see him getting there at some point? He's so dedicated. I could definitely see him making top 5 at some point. Now, do I think he's gonna get like top 3, top 1 someday? I think that's a bit of a stretch. The lineup would have to change quite a bit for him to get that high, but 10, absolutely a respectable finish considering he just switched this year and it wasn't like a premeditated thing. He just kind of all of a sudden was like, all right, I'm doing open now because I can't, lose this much muscle before a show. So Urs, number 10. Number 9, I got William Bonac. William Bonac, one of the most consistent bodybuilders right now. I mean, this dude's competed in feels like every show this year. Originally, I had Urs above him, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense for William to be above Urs. He's more of a seasoned veteran. William also has the better back, which it's the back that really made me put William above Urs. Although as like a complete bodybuilder, I would probably prefer Urs over William. I do see William just being above Urs in that regard. This dude's getting old, but he just keeps bringing it. Like, he's so consistent, man, and you gotta love William for coming in freaking on point every show he's in. So number 9, William Bonac. Number 8, I got Good Vito. So Good Vito, I was really disappointed when he could not compete at the Pittsburgh Pro this year. He was like one of the most exciting things about that show because we've only seen him up against Martin before. We haven't seen him up against Nick or Derek yet. When I made this list, I was expecting Good Vito to be a lot higher, but with someone else who appeared last second making this list, that ended up pushing Good Vito back. Now, could Good Vito place higher? I think if the other guys are off, he could really, I think Good Vito is the dark horse of this Olympia, because if there's anyone else on this list from here on out that's off, I think Good Vito could definitely make moves and reach a higher position. In my opinion, he has the best front double bicep when he's hitting the vacuum. Insane quads, he's got good lats, great arms. The only thing he's missing is the back, kind of like Urs, except for him it's a bit different. Where Urs is more like the width. Good Vito doesn't have low enough lats. His lat insertions are very high, which impacts his lat spread and his back double bicep. His back lat spread's fine. It actually looks pretty good. Like I said, Good Vito definitely the dark horse of this Olympia. If anyone else is off, I could absolutely see Good Vito making his way up and maybe even cracking the top 4. So Good Vito number 8. Number 7, I have Beirut. Now, Beirut, again, just like everyone else, this is a very like competitive lineup. If any of these guys are off, this whole list could be totally different. Beiru's so glad that he can make his visa. Everyone was counting him out, being like, oh, he's not gonna have his visa this year. I actually did hold up hope for him that he would actually make it to this Olympia. Turns out he actually is able to. I think Beiru's is one of the most complete bodybuilders on this list. He does not really have a lagging body part. His legs could be a bit better, but they're not bad. You know, it's not like Derek Lunsford's legs. Beiru's legs are just fine. He's got a great back, you know, great size, conditioning. He's got decent height too. So I mean, Beiru's is a guy that can absolutely shake this lineup. Just like Good Vito, he could place higher than any of these guys, assuming they're off and he like really brings it. Maybe not the top 3, but like he could definitely like make moves similar to Good Vito. But Beiru's, you know, it's great to actually have him in the Olympia this year. Dude, this Olympia is so fucking hype, bro. But yeah, he is definitely like one of the more exciting parts of this Olympia. Above Beiru's, I have Andrew Jack. I don't really like Andrew Jack's physique that much, I'm not gonna lie, but he does have a good physique, I'll admit that, and the judges are probably gonna, you know, award him that placing, assuming he brings in the conditioning that he had in the Arnold Classic. I see him above Beiru's and Good Vito. He's tall, he's aesthetic. In his last show, not the FIBO, but the Arnold Classic, he actually did bring conditioning in finally. So if he can bring in that conditioning again, which I think he will, I don't see how any of these other guys could really get ahead of him. He's just too tall, too aesthetic. He's got a decent amount of muscle mass, although I would argue Beiru's out-muscles him in terms of like proportionally. But I mean, he's gonna be conditioned probably. He's gonna be up there. Some people will say Andrew Jack should win. He is not gonna win, guys. Andrew Jack is not gonna win the Olympia. He does not have enough size. If you compare him to anyone that's remotely as tall as him, like Samson Dauda, he gets pretty exposed quickly because of his lack of size. He's just too lanky, I think, to be an Olympia champion. If he does win, then definitely clip this and post it everywhere online and make me look like an idiot. But yeah, Andrew Jack, definitely gonna be up there. I only see him falling down one placing, which with a lineup like this, just falling down one placing, I don't think is too bad. Above Andrew, I have Martin Fitzwater. So this is starting to look like the Olympia last year. Martin kind of had a rough year, did not really bring it at the Prague or the Pittsburgh Pro. Both shows, he gets winded too easily. Like on stage, he just cannot pull it together consistently. Like he starts sweating, he starts, you know, losing air. Like he needs to be able to like have that endurance to actually be able to stay on stage. His conditioning in the last 2 shows were also not that great compared to his Olympia debut, which he looked fantastic in. I definitely see him above Andrew. Granted, if Andrew does bring that conditioning from the Arnold, and if Martin comes in like he looked at the Pittsburgh or the Prague, I could see Andrew placing above Martin this year. But I feel like Martin's gonna bring it, especially with his newest updates. So Martin, definitely one of the most complete bodybuilders. His arms are not great, but like they're not terrible. Everything else in his physique looks great. He's got good aesthetics, good, you know, mass, good body parts. But the reason why I have him at 5 is because these next 4 guys are these guys are gonna be the indisputable top 4 in my opinion. I don't think anyone's really gonna be able to crack this top 4 unless one of them comes in super off. So at number 4, this is gonna be the most controversial number in this video. It's Nick Walker. Now, I know Nick Walker looked incredible. If Nick Walker wins this year, I will be as excited as anybody because Nick Walker has proven himself this year that he is not out of this top tier, you know, lineup. Like, he is definitely up there. He beat Derek Lunsford at Pittsburgh. I don't care if Derek technically placed higher. Everyone knows Nick Walker beat him. Best back double in the world. He's got insane size. Probably the most muscular guy in the world right now. Second to probably Rubiel Mascara. Dude has insane conditioning, insane size. So if Nick Walker places any higher, I'd be great to hear. I'd be delighted to hear Nick Walker place higher. However, I don't think that's going to happen unless Nick Walker can really tighten that midsection. And I don't just mean like through the poses, I mean through the transitions. As everyone knows, Phil Heath in 2018 lost to Sean Roden. If you take them shot for shot, Phil Heath won. The reason why Phil Heath lost was because of the transitions. He could not keep that stomach under control. And I think the same thing's going to happen with Nick. All of the top 3 guys can all hit vacuums, all have aesthetic frames. Nick just does not have those aesthetics. And I feel like we're in an era now where that is essential, because ever since Chris Bumstead pretty much came to popularity, you see all these top guys hitting vacuums, and Nick Walker being one of the few people that don't hit a vacuum. I don't see him being able to crack the top 3. Now, could he? Absolutely. Nick Walker could win. I just feel like he's been screwed over by the judges so many times. They're not going to give it to him. Arnold Classic 23, Olympia 2022, Pittsburgh Pro. When Nick brings it, the judges just cannot put him where he deserves to be. They always got to put him a bit lower because of that midsection. And honestly, it's stupid, man. Like, Nick Walker should really place higher in these shows. But who knows? You know, maybe he'll come in and win the show, which it would be awesome hearing Bob Ciccarello interview Nick Walker after winning the fucking Olympia. That would be one of the most, that would be great. So, controversial pick, Nick Walker at 4th. Number 3, probably another controversial pick, I have Hottie. Now, the main reason why I say Hottie is because he was stuck in, I believe, Dubai for a little bit because he was struggling to get his visa to the United States. I feel like that is going to impact his physique, but he could absolutely win again. Any of these guys could win, and I would not complain or say anything at all. But I just, given, and you know, I'll just spoil it. Number 2 is Derek. Number 1 is Samson. I have Samson winning. I have Derek in 2, Hottie at 3. The reason why that I cannot put Hottie over Derek right now is because Derek's physique in the Arnold Classic this year, I think the judges are going to prefer that over Hottie's physique. And you had Samson getting beat by Derek, and then Samson also beat Hottie before, and that was like the most shredded Hottie has ever looked. I think when Derek brings it, he's going to beat Hottie every time. Not because of my opinion, but because I think the judges just prefer Derek's look over Hottie's. So yeah, so a little bit of a spoiler. Number 2, I have Derek Lunsford. Like I said, with Hottie and Nick, Derek could absolutely win this show. I think a lot of people shit on Derek when he actually does have an incredible physique. I think Derek does not get enough credit for how good he actually looks. Yeah, his arms are soft. Yeah, he doesn't have abs. But dude has the best shape out of anyone in this lineup. He's got, you know, great lats, great back, great shape. He's got a great side leg too. I don't think anyone talks about how like shredded his side leg actually is. And his shots that used to be weak points, like the side chest, side tricep, he's bringing them up. Like the Pittsburgh Pro, that was the best his side tricep has ever looked, being better than Nick Walker's side tricep. His side chest looking even better between the Olympia, Arnold, and Pittsburgh. Like, he's bringing those weak spots up. If Derek can bring up the quads, I think he could actually solidify himself in that top 2 or even win. I mean, any of these guys are not as on as him. But, yeah, I mean, Derek, I think a lot of people just give Derek too much shit. I think he is absolutely a top-tier competitor, and I'm not just saying that because I think the judges will reward him. I genuinely think his physique is that good. Now, do I see him being better than Hottie or Nick? In my opinion, I think Nick beat him at Pittsburgh. I think Hottie beat Derek at the Olympia, which he obviously did. So, yeah. So, like, I think the judges do have a bias towards Derek. I'm going to be honest with you there. But I don't think that should take away from like, how good his physique actually is. I feel like a lot of people see weak arms, weak legs, and then they see his personality. And yeah, he doesn't have the greatest personality, but you're not judging the personality, you're judging the appearance. And Derek fucking brings it, bro. That being said, number 1, I have Samson, and this is the reason why I have Samson winning the Olympia. Samson last year came in off. He did not have the conditioning. He was just good enough to be better than Hottie. And I'm gonna be real, I don't think he should have won last year. I think Hottie, you know, brought it way better than Samson did. Samson looked a bit off. But judging from his guest posing, what people have been saying about him going into this Olympia, this is going to be the most shredded we've ever seen Samson. And everyone's going to say like, oh, well, he's going to lose size, he's going to look lanky. Bro, Andrew Jacked was 5th last year, and he is lanky as fuck. If Samson comes in a little bit lanky, he's still gonna dominate, bro. He is huge. He is massive. He's 5'11". He's gonna dwarf all of these guys, other than fucking, you know, Andrew, essentially. Like, he is going to win this year. I'm very confident on that. Derek, Hottie, and Nick, I'm a little bit less confident on, but Samson winning, I am pretty confident that Samson will win this year because he won last year, and it's not like Hottie was super off. Hottie fucking brought it last year, and Samson still beat him. So I don't see Samson losing this year. All he has to do is get that shredded, you know, look going on, carb up the day before, get that extra size going, and he's gonna win. The only real shots that Samson's gonna look bad in are the back shots, which could lose him the Olympia. But I'm gonna be real, he looks fantastic everywhere else. I don't think he's gonna lose this year, guys. Like, I genuinely think Samson's gonna be a 2-time champ, the first one since Big Ramy. And yeah, that's my top 10. Now, I do want to bring up Rubiel Mascara. I think he will probably place 11th this year. If he fucking brings it, he's not going to. He's looking pretty chonky. And I'm not talking about muscle. If he were to get actually shredded and get good separation in his quads, he would be one of the best bodybuilders in the world. You look at his side chest and side tricep, he could dominate, bro. But he just cannot get conditioned enough to save his life. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe you guys have Nick Walker winning. I just don't see Nick being awarded by the judges. You know, in my opinion, I would probably have Nick above all these guys except Samson. I'd have him above Hottie and Derek, but I don't think the judges are ready for that yet. So that's why I have Nick Walker at 4th. But yeah, this is an exciting Olympia. This is an awesome Olympia. I'm fucking excited. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Have a good one, and take care.